Cardano versus Ethereum. With the recent run-up in both Cardano's and Ethereum's price, everyone has been asking, what is Cardano? Which one is better, Cardano or Ethereum? In this video, we take a look at each cryptocurrency, the bull case for Cardano and the bull case for Ethereum. We take a look at why to own Cardano over Ethereum, and we also take a look at recent price action for both coins and make some price predictions. Full disclosure, we hold both projects and are bullish on both of these coins. Here are timestamps if you want to skip ahead to certain topics in the video, and these clips are taken from our live stream, so if you enjoy, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video. What does Cardano mean? It's one of the altcoins that's been running hard.
It's an Ethereum killer. It's also a smart contract.
It's a network coin.
It's essentially strive to, perform the same action as Ethereum. Only it's done a little bit better. It just really doesn't have that sort of network and name effect that Ethereum does. That's a very short, description of what we spoke about in the live stream about it.
It wants to solve the problems that Ethereum is solving,
and it's already taking back some of the value. I mean, this is something that a lot of people have seen coming. It was just a matter of when. But
I mean, very positive price action. Very positive
for a long time. So I don't think Cardano will ever be a bad buy. I have some Cardano at the moment. I would definitely recommend putting at least a portion of it in.
Altcoin season getting into full swing, taking some dominance off of Bitcoin. Bullish price action on Cardano, I'd say.
Kind of some reasons why to buy Cardano against Ethereum. You really have to kind of compare their projects and what they plan, what they strive to kind of solve. That's the whole point of a lot of these small cryptos is what they're solving in comparison to what some of the bigger names aren't solving yet, and how they're doing it, the process they're tackling to do it. Cardano is an awesome project, and looking at it on paper, it's done some amazing stuff. It's got a lot of peer-reviewed articles. It's got a lot of people who know what they're doing in the space and are analyzing its all of its technical details and what it is as a project, and kind of comparing that to other projects in the space and seeing that it's doing it. It's taking a similar route as Ethereum, but using different methods to go in that direction.
Yeah, let's really jump into, just because we were getting a lot of questions on the last stream about it, and I feel like there's a lot more interest in the space with Cardano. The recent run has gone on over the last week. Sort of the main differences between Cardano and Ethereum.
First, they're both smart contract platforms, so they're both allowing people to come onto their platforms and create their own projects using smart contracts, essentially.
Yes, what I'd first point out to people, and this is sort of the main argument for Cardano against Ethereum, is that people call Ethereum a second generation cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was the first one. Ethereum improved upon that with smart contracts, and then you'd call Cardano a third generation cryptocurrency. So it's gone back, seen all the weak points where it can be improved, and then with the code and the foundation that it's built on has improved in a lot of the major areas there. Do you want to walk us through some of the positives of the Cardano network against Ethereum?
Yep, definitely. As Jamie said, Bitcoin first generation, Ethereum second generation, Cardano third generation, all progressively in generations striving to solve issues that the prior generation had with their platform and projects. The Ethereum when it comes out, Ethereum 2.0 comes out, that would be considered a third generation project as well, because it's still solving the issues that it had that Cardano has now solved. But Ethereum definitely has that has the advantage of everyone already knowing what it is. A lot of projects already been produced on their platform, and they've all got big names and have some sort of adoption to a certain extent. So it's not like Cardano will ever kill Ethereum and smear it into the ground in the short term. I don't think that will ever happen. That's really what Ethereum's got going for it compared to Cardano. But Cardano solved the issues of it being scalable. It's been peer reviewed and scrutinized against, by professionals who know what they're doing, whereas Ethereum was just made by Vitalik in his basement and maybe a small team of people who knew what he was doing, but he was really the first person in the space to be doing something like that. So it's kind of hard to get any peer review on his project when he was doing it. So pretty much just his ideas and his abilities is what the project was limited to, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. He's done some incredible work with it, but Cardano has got more people on board, and it's gotten, if more minds on one project means, better problem solving and a better outcome.
Yeah, so to sort of sum up the bull case for Cardano, I would narrow it down to these things. The Cardano, it's newer, it has a bigger team behind it. The research and peer-reviewed nature of the way they add to the foundation of the code, it is much more rigorously reviewed and scrutinized before it's added, and it's done by researchers and academics all across the globe. So the way that this network has been built, that it's not going to face a lot of the problems that Ethereum did. Ethereum was groundbreaking when it was done, but because it was so new and what it was trying to do, there were a lot of problems with scalability. So when a lot of people adopt it, a good example of that is gas fees increasing and transactions being slow. So Cardano is much more innately scalable. We won't go too depth into it, but I think let's just talk a bit about the way
the stuff you should know.
Yeah, the stuff you should know. I think the data layering of the contracts is easy to explain. Do you want to walk through that?
Yeah, sure. So the way Ethereum's smart kind of transaction is handled is that in every transaction of Ethereum, this transaction will involve the transaction details in itself. So who's sending and who's receiving and how much, and all the kind of metadata, like the date of when it's transferred, the type of token it is, because as you know, Ethereum has all these different ERC20 tokens saved on it, and other kind of information that you might want to save in the transaction, which means that in every single transaction you'll have to send all this information, which can be, add up to quite a substantial amount if there's a lot of people transferring on the network at one time. That's why gas fees and time can be so high when there's so many people, with so many people coming in. So that's why Ethereum's had some issues with scalability and pretty much just in scalability in that department. What Cardano have done to say that there's many different alternatives. There's terms like sharding, which solves scalability, which is what Zilliqa does. But the way Cardano's done it is that they've kind of separated the metadata, which is what I said earlier was the time of transaction, the type of token. They separated that data from the actual transaction data, which means that in each transaction there'll be a lot less information being transferred, which means it's quicker, it's cheaper, and yeah.
So to sort of sum up, all the way the Ethereum transactions are done, all of that metadata and the data surrounding the contracts or whatever parameters are included in that, it all has to be lumped together and sent as one big thing. Whereas Cardano has a layering system where it can be separated, the transaction and the data can be separate, which pretty much solves the issue of scalability. So you can have a lot more users without running into the same problems as high gas fees, transactions taking a long time, that sort of thing. So that's what we would argue is sort of the bull case towards Cardano, and I think you'll see a lot of people online. It's why it's called the Ethereum killer, and it's sort of the new and improved Ethereum. So that's sort of the bull case behind Cardano and sort of it in a nutshell. The only thing I would finish off with, sort of the bull case for Ethereum, is that you can't discount the power of the network and the first mover advantage that Ethereum has, and I also wouldn't discount all of the intellectual capital that's coming into the space. So just reading off some numbers here, the market cap of Ethereum is sitting at around 190 billion, whereas Cardano's is at 20.5. So Ethereum has about an 18 times market cap of Cardano, and you can't underestimate the power of being the first mover, the power of adoption, and the network value that Ethereum has. So there's already so many users, it's already been beta tested so heavily with all these different projects being built on the Ethereum network, which Cardano, just because it's not the same size, hasn't had that similar, doesn't have that same sort of network, and it wasn't one of the first movers. So that's sort of the bull case I'd make for Ethereum. And I wouldn't also discount all of these projects being built on it. With Ethereum 2.0, they are solving a lot of problems. They're going to continue to innovate. So I definitely wouldn't count it out. I'm bullish on both of the projects. So yeah, Cardano, a better version of Ethereum, but you can't discount these big things that Ethereum has going for it. That's what I'd say.
Look at that, forming high lows, constantly increasing. It's hard to say whether we're gonna cap out, come down, sort of form that Fibonacci retracement, and then run back up again, form another all-time high, or if we're gonna see another top, make it level out, form some sort of resistance here, and then fall back down. I think for the reasons as you said prior, I think we will keep running up.
Yeah, I think it's too bullish in the near term. All these things, despite the CME futures, who knows which way it's going to go. But yeah, the amount of Ethereum leaving exchanges, Ethereum 2.0 staking, simple supply and demand, there's not enough supply. So I think it's too bullish in the near term. So yeah, Benjamin Crowan, based off the ratio of Bitcoin to Ethereum to Bitcoin, is expecting $3,200. And I think, yeah, we're going to move.
And I think he has by far been the most accurate in the space for that specific spread. It sounds weird, but he has gone into so much detail on the Bitcoin to Ethereum spread and just seeing which one will be the winner and which one will be the loser at which specific times, and he's called it almost every time.
Yeah, he's been incredibly accurate. So
yeah, I trust him on those sort of predictions.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think ETH will be in 1 to 2 months? Interesting.
Definitely very bullish on the scenario that'll be definitely higher than what it is now. I think we will still keep running up, and we won't see a massive retraction like we've seen recently. For an exact number?
Yeah, let's give an exact number to look back on.
I'd say let's give an exact number, yeah.
Ethereum 1 to 2 months. I'm going to go fairly conservative. 2,600
yeah,
US.
I was gonna say 2,500.
2,500, 2,600. We're not going to give you a moonshot. I mean, that's a huge increase. But I think there's too many tailwinds, too many beneficial news events over the next 1 to 2 months. That's going to keep pushing Ethereum. We went over them a bit before. Yeah, 2,600. I think that's a pretty safe guess.
It's still got so much gas left in the tank to keep expunging out. So
yeah, so much gas in the tank. Let's go over the three, at least my three biggest proponents as why the Ethereum price is going to keep running. We're seeing whales move huge amounts of Ethereums off exchanges, and these whales, they could be corporations, they could just be high net worth individuals, they could be companies. They're moving it into cold storage. This is supply that is going to be removed from the exchanges for the long term. This is very bullish for Ethereum. Second reason is the CME futures. I think it's going to be beneficial. The derivatives data is showing above $2,000. This is short term, so a bit longer. I think 2,600 is fairly reasonable. And then the 2.0 staking contract. There's so much. I think 15% of the Ethereum is held up in the 2.0 staking contract. It's held for 18 months, and yeah, Glassnode put out that it just reached an all-time high again. So yeah, there's a supply crisis going on with Ethereum. So super bullish. Yeah, 2,600 dollar cost average is my plan until it matures with ETH 2.0. Yeah, good plan. I think slowly increasing his stack of Ethereum don't
overcomplicate it.
Yeah, just don't overcomplicate
it. Slowly. Know what's in the works and just trust the process, because in December 27th, Bitcoin plummeted after the leader for the futures market pump. Tomorrow's the day of Ethereum. Yep. So Jamie's has already talked about this one. We spoke about this earlier in the live stream a couple times. Did you want to go over it again? Harry H just asked about the futures market pump back in 2017.
Yeah, Harry, good point. So a lot of people are really bullish on the CME futures opening tomorrow, but it's the US, so it's going to be like over the next 48 hours, we're going to see what happens to it. And I was saying earlier, I think we see a return to Bitcoin. I think Ethereum's going to pull back a bit and consolidate sort of the near term. But I don't think we're going to see what happened in 2017 when the futures opened for Bitcoin. When the futures opened back in December 2017 for Bitcoin, everyone was short. Everyone was expecting the price to go down. We are seeing a complete different situation now. So we're seeing the data. People are expecting $2,000. All of the short positions, it looks like, currently are going to expire worthless. And I think there's too much momentum behind just crypto in general, and specifically Ethereum in terms of supply, Ethereum 2.0, for the futures to sort of take a big chunk out. Like, I don't think we're going to see the start of a 3-year bear market like what happened with Ethereum. So
I don't think it's even possible.
I think there's way too much momentum,
way too much institutional money in it.
Yeah,
I think there's way too much backbone this time around to even compare it to that.
Yeah, but buy the rumor, sell the news. I think a lot of people, I don't know, I'm seeing mixed things online. I'm seeing a lot of people expect the CME futures to be a positive thing when you're exactly right. Back in 2017, it was a very negative catalyst for Bitcoin. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens. But I think, too much backbone, too much momentum behind it. We're going to see it keep increasing.